Happy President Friday!
Actually, it's not Friday.
What?
This is Saturday the 15th.
Whoa, no!
January 15th.
What happened to yesterday?
Yesterday, we're filming that after this.
Well, that's just crazy.
Yeah, that is kind of silly.
Well, why are we doing a Saturday video?
Well, a good friend of ours, MerleKoz, is doing a big streamer weekend this weekend for his birthday, which is tomorrow.
I don't know who that is.
Yes, you do. Come on.
Oh, is he that stinky rodent?
He is not stinky. You take that back or you're going to the timeout corner.
I'm sorry. I meant to say it smells like roses.
Originally, he had said that it was the 15th, so I started doing all the research for today. And come to find out it's tomorrow, but I was like, I did all this research. I am going to make 2 videos. I don't care if it's not his birthday. It's somebody's birthday today.
Is it my birthday?
I don't... It could be. Is it?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think it was. So anyhow, you want to pull up
oh, yeah.
the thing here?
So we got to reopen that here. We go, bam!
All right, so it's January 15th. And first of all, we do the list of birthdays. And January 15th, in 1412, Joan of Arc was born. She lived until 1431. She died at age 19, unfortunately. I believe she was burned at the stake. Is thought to be a witch or something? I'm not entirely sure. All I know is that she's a very historical figure. Yeah. If she were somehow alive today, she'd be 610.
Yeah,
she'd have to be a witch if
really?
she was still alive at 610.
I thought they spotted her in San Dimas in the 80s.
Yeah, I believe they did. Next is Ashikaga Yoshizumi, Japanese shogun. Was born in 1481. They lived until 1511, and they were only 30 years old. And if they were alive today, they'd be 541 years old. And
tragedy.
And Kamatari Fujiwara, a Japanese film actor from Seven Samurai, The Hidden Fortress, and Yojimbo. They were born in Tokyo, Japan in 1905 and died in 1985. And they were 80 when they died, and if they were alive today, they'd be 117, which I'm actually not sure. Is that in the realm of possibility? I forget if there's been somebody who's lived that long.
Supposedly.
If it isn't, it's pretty darn close. They could potentially have still been alive. And next we have Martin Luther King Jr. He was actually born on January 15th. He is an American clergyman and leader of the Civil Rights Movement and winner of the Nobel Peace Prize, or Nobel Prize in 1964. It probably was for peace. I don't know what else it would have been for. He was born in Atlanta, Georgia in 1929. He lived to be 39 in 1968. And if he were alive today, he'd be 93. So yeah, he totally could still be alive if things had gone differently. I even believe there was an episode of The Boondocks that touched on that tidbit there, where he got to see a black president. That was pretty cool. Next, we have Ronnie Van Zandt, last of the late people here. He's an American rock musician from Leonard Skinner. He was born in Jacksonville, Florida in 1948, and he died in 1977. He was 29 years old, and if he were still alive today, he'd be 74. So there you go. All right, next we've got the oldest living celebrity is Charo.
Still alive? Awesome.
At least when I did the research, she was said to be still alive, and I haven't heard any news that she's passed.
Well, this will be on YouTube forever.
Maria Baiza is her real name. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right. She's a Spanish-American actress, comedian, and flamenco guitarist. Chico and the Man and Love Boat is what she's known for. She was born in Murcia, Spain. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that right. In 1951. And she turns 71 today. Next we have Chad Lowe, an actor best known for ER, Melrose Place, and Pretty Little Liars. He's the younger brother of Rob Lowe. He was born in 1968, and today he turns 54. I'm sure most people are more familiar with his older brother, but you know, it's like I couldn't leave him out of there just because his brother's more famous. That's not fair. I'm sure some people you out there have older brothers that overshadowed you growing up. Next we have Shane McMahon, CEO and wrestler, son of Vince McMahon. He was born in 1970, and today he turns 52.
Wow. How old does that make Vince?
Older. Much older. But yeah, I definitely remember Shane McMahon back when I used to watch SmackDown back in the 90s. Didn't really watch it all that much. It was more my dad's thing, but I did play the PlayStation game. Anyhow, next we have Regina King, an American actress from Southland, If Beale Street Could Talk. She was born in Cincinnati, Ohio in 1971, and today she'd be 51. Next we have is Drew Brees, American football quarterback, Super Bowl MVP in 2009, New Orleans Saints, 13 Pro Bowl wins, 7 NFL passing yards leader. He was born in Austin, Texas in 1979. Today he turns 43. And if I got any of the information wrong, I'm especially sorry, Junior. I don't know football, but I know I recognize the name Drew Brees, so I had to include that. Pitbull. Not the dog, but the rapper, Armando Christian Perez is his legal name. He was born in Miami, Florida in 1981, and today he turns 41. Next is Kelly, WWE diva, real name Barbara Jean Blank. She was born in 1987, and today she turns 35.
Can't believe you didn't write in that last name.
What happened?
You said it's blank.
Oh.
And you didn't write it out?
What are you talking about? I'm doing this off my head. Next we have someone for the younger crowd, Skrillex, DJ. He was born Sonny John Moore in 1988, and today he turns 34. So yeah, can't believe that. Skrillex is turning 34.
I like, wow, 34. He's so young.
Okay, if you say so.
You were talking about Skrillex like 10 years ago.
What's that?
He's been famous for a good portion of his adult life.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild.
I know.
Totally jelly.
And lastly, we have Dove Cameron, who plays Mal on The Descendants. She was born in 1996, and today she turns 26.
Interesting. 26? Too young. They make people younger and younger these days.
Indeed. They're always doing that. All right, so now we're on to our history portion. On this day in history, in 1535, Henry VIII declared himself head of the Church of England. In 1559, Elizabeth I was crowned Queen of England in Westminster Abbey. And in 1759, the British Museum opened in Montague House in London. I wasn't sure if that was actually the really big one, but when I was doing my research, I found out that is indeed a very famous British museum. So I was like, yeah, I've got to include that in there.
Oh. Is there a Capulet Museum as well? Montagues and Capulets? Come on!
Yeah. It's the British Museum, though.
Well, yeah, you can have different people from different nationalities in your family.
In 1785, Mozart's String Quartet Opus 10 premiered. In 1797, the first top hat was worn by John Etherington of London.
Very nice, very nice.
I should have brought my top hat to bring in here.
He's more a fan of bottom hats.
Anywho, so yeah, believe it or not, there was an instance of the first top hat. It's kind of remarkable to think of. I mean, can you say you can think of anything, any piece of clothing where it's like, yeah, there was a historical record of when the first one was ever worn? Probably not too many things. Or at least I wouldn't think. Next, in 1831, the first U.S.-built locomotive to pull a passenger train makes its first run. So all you train fans out there, so that one's for you.
Oh man, I should have brought my trains out.
In 1846, Russian writer Fyodor Dostoevsky's first novel, Poor Folk, is published in the St. Petersburg Collection Almanac. In 1861, the steam elevator was patented by Elijah Otis. So if you've ever been on an elevator, it's all thanks to one man named Otis.
Oh.
You probably may have even seen his name written on an elevator or two, if you happen to look. And if you are a fan of crossword puzzles, Otis is often used as a crossword puzzle answer about elevators.
Bizarre.
In 1870, the donkey was first used as a symbol of the Democratic Party in Harper's Weekly. I'm not entirely sure why the donkey was chosen, but it's stuck ever since, I guess. In 1892, Basketball Rules, first published in Triangle magazine, written by James Naismith. So yeah, there you go. The rules for basketball were first issued way back then, on this very day. In 1907, gold dental inlays, first described by William Taggart, who invented them. You okay?
Yeah. I had a little feather stuck in my mouth.
Oh, no.
But we're always preening ourselves.
Yes, that is something birds do. I like to eat bamboo. Next, in 1908, Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority, the first Greek letter organization established by African American College for Women. Yay! Go Alpha Kappa Alpha! 1919, 2 million gallons of molasses flood Boston, Massachusetts in the Great Molasses Flood when a storage tank burst, drowning 21 people and injuring 150. Normally we tend to leave out the gruesome death things in these, but that one is just way too famous not to mention. Growing up in the Boston area, that is one thing they always said is that in really hot summer days, supposedly you can still smell the molasses. And also, how crazy is it to think 21 people couldn't get out of the way of molasses? Have you ever poured molasses? There's this thing of slow as molasses, right?
Yeah, but
so you'd think it'd be like way slow. They could get away from it, right?
It's hot molasses. It's hot molasses, so it'd be more viscous.
I guess so.
Well, either way,
but still, it's pretty crazy.
Either way, that's what I'd call a sticky situation.
Indeed, very. So next we have in 1927, the Tennessee Supreme Court overturns on a technicality John T. Scope's guilty verdict for teaching evolution, but the law itself remains in force, unfortunately. Not sure when it was overturned, but that was definitely one of those big landmark court cases. The Scopes monkey trial, or the evolution case. Then in 1934, New York Yankee slugger Babe Ruth, nearing the end of his illustrious career, signed a one-year contract worth $35,000, represents a pay cut of $17,000 for the Babe. So yeah, it may not seem like a whole lot these days, but 1934 money, you better believe that was some huge scratch.
Yeah.
Also in 1934, while robbing the First National Bank of East Chicago and Indianapolis, John Dillinger is shot several times by Officer William O'Malley, but survives because he's wearing a bulletproof vest.
Oh.
So yeah, you've heard of John Dillinger? Well, he made a daring robbery on this day in history. In 1942,
amazing.
U.S. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt sends his famous green light letter to MLB Commissioner Judge Landis, encouraging baseball to continue playing during World War II.
Oh, we know Landis.
So yeah, it was probably one of those controversial things. It's like, there's a war going on. We can't be playing baseball. We've got to be serious about this big old war. But the president was like, no, we need to keep the American spirits up by having the nation's pastime still going on.
I mean, how could you relax in a time of war unless you're knocking a few balls around?
So the following year, 1943, the world's largest office building, the Pentagon, is completed to house the U.S. military. So you're all familiar with the Pentagon, right? It was actually built on this very day. Or completed, I should say. In 1948, The Treasure of the Sierra Madre, a film based on B. Travin's novel, directed by John Huston, is starring Humphrey Bogart, premieres.
I've only seen Humphrey Bogart in that episode of Tales from the Crypt.
Really? He was in an episode of Tales from the Crypt?
Yeah, postmortem, they use CGI.
Yeah, okay, I think I remember something about
what
that.
Was it, 90s CGI?
But yeah, I want to say that's the Maltese Falcon movie, Treasure of Sierra Madre. I could be wrong. I've not actually seen it. It's such an old movie. I mean,
like
clearly,
Falcon.
1948. But yeah, if anybody out there knows about Treasure Sierra Madre, if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. In 1951, the Supreme Court ruled clear and present danger of incitement to riot is not protected speech and can be cause for arrest. So in other words, you can't yell fire in a crowded building. That's not covered by free speech.
But so
unless there's fire, of course.
Okay.
If
That
there's
was going to
actually
be my
a fire,
question.
if there's actually danger, you're okay. But you cannot incite a riot. You can't cause people to panic for no good reason and be like, what? I have freedom of speech. I can say what I want. No, you can't. There are certain things you can say legally, apparently. But yeah, shouting bomb or fire or anything like that in public when there is none is an arrestable offense. Oh. Next, in 1961, a whole decade later, Berry Gordy signs the Supremes with Motown Records. So yeah, Supremes, they started their career on this very day. In 1964, Major League Baseball executives vote to hold a free agent amateur draft, officially known as the Major League Baseball First-Year Players Draft in New York City.
Cool.
Also, Teamsters negotiate for the first national labor contract on this very day in 1964. As well, apparently, San Francisco Giants make the champion outfielder Willie Mays the highest paid player in baseball when they sign him to a new $105,000 per season contract.
Which is amazing.
Especially considering just a few decades ago, they were talking about, Babe Ruth and much smaller amount of money there.
And now if they would sign a contract like this, we wouldn't be in the hundreds of thousands.
No, it would be millions.
Yeah, we'd be in the millions. I will take a $105,000 contract.
Indeed.
I would love that.
Someone want to give me one? I'll take it.
Let's get this set up. We've got to find a way.
In 1965, the rock group The Who released their first album, I Can't Explain.
I don't know who. Who is it?
The Who.
That's what I'm asking you.
Who's on first? Also in 1965, one of the biggest trades in NBA history, the San Francisco Warriors sent Wilt Chamberlain to the Philadelphia 76ers for Connie Deerking, Lee Schaefer, and Paul Newman, and cash.
Oh, very nice. So those Warriors came out to play,
Apparently. I'm actually not sure how that turned out, if that was a good decision or not. If you happen to know anything about baseball and want to talk about it, leave it in the comments. In 1967, the Rolling Stones appeared for the 5th time in the Ed Sullivan Show, reluctantly agreed to alter the lyrics of Let's Spend the Night Together.
Yeah.
You know anything about that?
I don't. I just know that the censorship they had back then, they basically would... You could get on the show. Pretty much anyone could get on the show if they so desired you. But their content would be censored.
Oh.
So it's just...
I'm not as familiar with this song. Do you happen to know?
Yeah, no.
What lyric might have been changed?
I couldn't tell you the exact lyric. I find that that time period fascinating because you couldn't... Nowadays, they just do it.
They would bleep it if they have to.
Yeah. Or if you're on Saturday Night Live, you'll censor. Most of the time, you censor yourself, but. Not always. I've heard it get through before, even on repeated viewing.
Okay, I think I remember something like that happening once or twice, or at least having heard of it. In 1967, Super Bowl I, the LA Memorial Coliseum in Los Angeles, California, Green Bay Packers beat the Kansas City Chiefs 35-10 with MVP Bart Starr.
Oh, bizarre name.
He's a quarterback for Green Bay.
Well, that's wild. They won the first Super Bowl.
Probably the first famous, or at least, as far as I know, first famous Bart before, the one from The Simpsons. Oh. I mean, it's I'm pretty sure Bartholomew was probably a biblical name.
Well, yeah, I'm sure there's
someone going by the name Bart.
I'm sure there's been other Barts, but they aren't relevant to our...
Yeah, I'm just saying, besides culture. Bartholomew from the Bible times, Bart is probably not what they went by back then. So I would say Bart Starr is probably the first famous Bart in history. Before, like I said,
leave angry replies down in the comments.
In 1968, the Minnesota North Stars forward Bill Masterson died 2 days after suffering a head injury in a game against the Oakland Seals, the only death as a result of a game injury in NHL history. So yeah,
wow,
I'm wondering if they didn't wear helmets back then, because I know that was a thing, at least in football. They only wore like these leather caps that did not protect their players nearly as much as the ones they wear nowadays. Although even still, the ones nowadays aren't injury-proof. Although that's football. This is hockey we're talking about.
Yeah.
In 1971, George Harrison releases My Sweet Lord single in the UK. In 1972, World Heavyweight Boxing Champion Joe Frazier stops Terry Daniels in 4 rounds in New Orleans to retain his WBC and WBA titles. World Boxing Championship? World Boxing Association, I think? I want to say? No?
Your guess is as good as mine.
In 1973, U.S. President Richard Nixon suspends all U.S. offensive action in North Vietnam. In 1974, TV sitcom Happy Days begins an 11-year run on ABC, starring Ron Howard, Henry Winkler, Marion Ross, and Tom Bosley.
Oh, fascinating.
So, you all remember Sunday, Monday, Happy Days? Yeah, that started on this very day.
Even if you don't, I mean, Ron Howard and even Henry Winkler are still fairly relevant.
Indeed.
Well, maybe not. I would still say so. You know what? I'll still say so. The things Adam Sandler...
The Fonz. All right. Also in 1974, expert panel reports 18.5-minute gap in the Watergate tape. 5 separate erasures. So yeah, the Watergate scandal was going underway at the same time Happy Days came out.
Crazy.
Then the following year, 1975, Space Mountain opened at Disneyland. Y'all remember Space Mountain? I'm sure Lionel does. He lives down there near Disneyland, or Disney World, rather.
I remember going on that multiple times.
But I'm sure he might have written it.
Yeah, since they keep you in the dark for at least some of it, like, I would go on it multiple times and still enjoy it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but nowadays I can't do roller coasters.
Oh, no.
But that was when it's like you get in the dark, you're like, oh, it's, then it's like, but now when I can see it coming, I just get so scared. It just moves fast. When I'm flying on my own, I'm going at my own pace.
Yeah, that's true.
And I don't have to look down if I don't want.
That makes sense. All right, next we have 1975 also. Pioneering American female comedian Phyllis Diller gets a star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Phyllis Diller. Oh, wait, that wasn't Phyllis Diller.
That could also be...
yeah. That's Joan Rivers I was doing.
Oh, yeah.
I can't think about Phyllis Diller. Yeah, if y'all know how to do a Phyllis Diller impression, let me know. 1976, Sarah Jane Moore sentenced to life for attempting to shoot U.S. President Gerald Ford.
Oh, my.
Yeah, remember back in the day when the president used to get assassination attempts? Yeah, Pepperidge Farm remembers. I don't know. 1977, Coneheads debuted on Saturday Night Live. Y'all remember the Coneheads?
Yeah, even if you don't, I mean, maybe you remember the movie adaptation in was it the 90s or 2000s?
I'm not sure when that movie came out. I don't think it was 2000.
That one has the parents are played by the same people, so that was pretty cool. I liked that movie.
It was a very silly movie, but
yeah, I'm glad they didn't bog us down with sequels.
1981, Hill Street Blues premiered on NBC TV.
Yeah, I used to watch that, but I was so young. I was a little hatchling then, so I
Did you watch it because you were blue?
Well, I kept waiting for the blue stuff.
Yeah.
But I vaguely recall some of it, and I don't recall any blue.
Yeah.
So.
Pretty sure it's about police.
It is.
In 1984, Martina Navratilova's 54-match winning streak ends when beaten by Hanna Mandlikova. Hanna Mandlikova. Yeah, try saying that 10 times fast. 7-6, 3-6, and 6-4 in the finals of the Virginia Slim of California tennis event in Oakland. After After a loss, Navratilova wins the next 74 matches for a new record. In 1986, Montreal's rookie goaltender Patrick Roy records his first of 66 career NHL shutouts in the Canadiens' 4-0 win against Winnipeg Jets at the Forum. So yeah, there you go. There's some Canadian for you, Merle. Then in 1987, champion Boston Celtics NBA forward Larry Bird named Man of the Year by the Sporting News and Athlete of the Year by the Associated Press. First time one athlete gains both distinctions.
I love Larry Bird because as a fellow Bird,
Indeed.
I can appreciate his naturally given abilities to fly above the basketball court. And that's how he was able to do those 3-pointers. That's right.
I'm from the home. I'm from where the Celtics were from, or at least the state.
Yeah. Why do they say Celtics instead of?
Yeah,
Celtics?
you'd think it'd be the Celtics. But no. For some reason, they decided to call it Celtics, and when people challenge them, they're like, "No, it's the Celtics. It's not the Celtics.
Yeah,
We're the Boston Celtics."
Okay, whatever.
So anyhow, in 1988, NFL analyst Jimmy the Greek Snyder makes several questionable comments about African Americans during a lunchtime interview on CBS NFL Today, and is fired the very next day.
Can you believe
so
that?
there you go. You can't be saying that
like
stuff on
even
TV.
in the 80s, it's like, come on. But like, why? Like, there wasn't... I'm not going to say much about what's going on these days, but the idea is, like, even then it wasn't acceptable. How have people still not learned their lesson?
Nowadays, it'd be something he tweeted, right?
Oh, yeah, that would just be the format.
In 1989, the following year, Big John Studs wins WWF's second Royal Rumble.
Yeah, that was when I saw that factoid. I'm like, oh my God, I have not heard the name Big John Stud probably since the early 90s.
And I'd never heard of him.
It's like, he was very big.
Second Royal Rumble, big. I had to put that on there.
Yeah, that was a really big deal.
I know a few people who love their wrestling, so I figured they'd find that interesting.
It's such a black, because he was huge, but then he fell off the face of the earth. Yeah, he was big, and he was a stud.
I mean, his name was Big.
Yeah.
And John, and Stud. Following year, 1990, 42-year-old former world heavyweight boxing champion George Foreman stops Gary Cooney in 2 rounds in Atlantic City in a non-title bout. Cooney's last fight. So yeah, when George Foreman knocks you out, you stay out.
Yeah, and at 42, he was already past his prime.
Indeed.
So, I mean, as a boxer.
Yeah.
As a boxer.
He went on to sell a whole bunch of those lean, mean grilling machines after that.
Yes, he also named all of his... everybody knows that. He named his kids George.
Yeah, that's right.
I actually have...
I can't believe he did that. It's so crazy.
Yeah, I have an uncle, George, who named his 2 sons George. They have the same...
Because of the boxer?
No, I think he was just... he's just a character, and he named them both George, so our whole lives refer to them by their middle names instead, because those are different.
George Michael and...
Nah. Yeah. I'm going to give it
all I'm thinking about is Arrested Development, where they named their son George Michael Bluth and George Oscar Bluth. Or at least that was some of the characters in there. And instead of calling him Michael, they call him George Michael. After the singer.
Never heard of him.
In 1992, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees Bobby Blue Bland and Booker T and the MGs, Johnny Cash, Jimi Hendrix Experience, Isley Brothers, Sam and Dave, the Yardbirds, Elmore James, Professor Longhair, Leo Fender, Bill Graham, and Doc Pomus are inducted. Wow. That's a lot of names. Only a few of them did I actually recognize, but... Hey, Jimi Hendrix and Johnny Cash, those guys are awesome.
Yeah, and one half of the Harlem Heat. Ryan will get that one.
Okay, hopefully.
He'll get that joke.
In 1997, controversial Chicago Bulls forward Dennis Rodman kicks cameraman Eugene Amos in the groin during a game against Minnesota Timberwolves. Ultimately pays Amos $200,000 settlement and is suspended for 11 games without pay. That Dennis Rodman, such a character.
Really?
What won't he do for attention?
He's a bizarre character.
Indeed.
He goes from dressing oddly to...
didn't he color his hair or something?
Yeah, he's got tattoos. You know what? No hate on any of that. I mean,
well, kicking a guy in the groin?
Yeah, well, we can hate that.
Yeah, that's
I mean, personal style. You want to go dress differently, get the tattoo. That's fine. That's
be who you want to be as long as it doesn't hurt anybody.
Yeah, exactly. Now he's like hanging out with dictators. It's crazy.
Is he really? Wow.
Yeah. It's so...
also, on this day in 1997, the space shuttle Atlantis docks in the Mir Space Station. Everybody remember the Mir Space Station?
Yeah, well, it may just be a mere space station, but it's pretty impressive to most.
In 1998, NASA announces John Glenn, age 76, may fly in space again.
Oh, I could go to space, and I could fly in space.
Yes, you could, actually.
Yeah.
You'd only be the second furry to be in space. If you did. As far as we know. It's possible there have been other furries in space, they just weren't public about it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was another one. I think it says the one is the first in space, but then, didn't Ash do a video about, or somebody did a video about a furry in space?
It just happened recently.
No, before that.
I'm not sure.
I'm going to have to look it up, because I was certain there was another one. He even bought his fursuit.
Yeah, I want to say that was what I was referring to. No, I was saying you'd be the second if you did.
No, it's a different. It's not the same.
So yeah, if you happen to know anything about that, leave in the comments.
Angry. Leave them angry and tactless.
In 1998, NASA announced... Oh yeah, we already did that. 2001, Wikipedia, a free wiki or content encyclopedia is launched by Jimmy Wales and Larry Sanger. Thanks, Wikipedia! I didn't get this information from you, but I've definitely used your content a lot in the past.
I've submitted content before.
Really?
Yeah, but the one article I submitted to got deleted.
Oh.
They're like, I guess this guy, Michael Q. Schmidt's just not famous enough.
I want to say I submitted content to some website, like a wiki, but I don't think maybe I did? I might have did some editing on something that I saw it was wrong. Or at least was written incorrectly. But anyhow, in 2005, ESA's Smart 1 lunar orbiter discovers elements such as calcium, aluminum, silicon, iron, and other surface elements on the moon.
Interesting. I mean, yeah, of course all the elements would be elements we've heard of.
Mm-hmm. And in 2009, Sully Sullenberger lands the U.S. Airways Flight 1549 on the Hudson River shortly after takeoff from LaGuardia Airport, New York City. All passengers and crew members survive in what becomes known as the Miracle on the Hudson.
Yeah, it's not a lot of commercial plane crashes that have a good number of survivors, if any.
Yeah, and this one, everybody survived.
Yeah, everybody got to live. I mean, yeah, granted, it would have been better to not happen at all.
Of course.
But... Hey, amazing. You know what?
He was a hero.
It's awesome, yes. My second favorite flyer.
Ooh. Who's your first?
You can't guess?
Are you saying yourself?
Why, I mean, if I'm yours too, you know.
Of course. Then in 2015, getting closer to current times here, the 20th Critics' Choice Movie Awards, Boyhood wins Best Film.
I'm not a big fan of Boyhood. I gave it up.
I did not see that movie, but I've seen a few parodies of it, including the one they did on The Simpsons, which was really good. I definitely recommend anybody who has stopped watching The Simpsons, go check that episode out at least. It's a pretty interesting episode where it details actual history of Bart growing up. So it shows him when he's younger than 10 and older than 10. So if you ever wondered, it's like, when are they ever going to have Bart be more than 10 years old? There you go. That episode did it.
One episode.
Well, they did a few other ones, but that was like one of the big landmark ones. In 2016, American Museum of Natural History in Manhattan unveils the newest exhibit replica skeleton of a titanosaur dinosaur, found in 2010 in Argentina. The largest known dinosaur, it's 70 tons and 37 meters tall.
Wow, I wonder if Greg knows him.
You might.
Titano dinosaur. Like from the Power Rangers, Titanic.
Yeah, there you
Is that
go.
the same thing?
I'm not sure.
I
didn't actually look up what this looks
Let me
like.
look up a picture. Boop, 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 boop.
In 2018, U.S. Olympic gold medal winning gymnast Simone Biles says that she is one of more than 130 women sexually abused by former team doctor Larry Nassar. So yeah, that might have been like the start of the Me Too movement, where women were finally coming out and admitting that these things were happening and getting these scumbags to pay for their crimes. You okay?
Yeah, no, you move on to the next one. I don't really want to touch that.
Okay. Moving on. In 2019, Chinese scientists confirmed they have germinated a cotton seed on the moon on board the Chang'e 4 lander.
Oh.
And then just on this day last year, 2021, global death toll from the COVID-19 pandemic passes 2 million. True total likely much higher. So yeah.
Happy birthday!
If anybody hasn't realized how serious this is, there you go. A year ago today, we reached 2 million. Yeah. Pretty darn serious.
I got nothing. How are we supposed to finish on
I'm
this?
sorry.
Like, hey,
But it's
that
what
terrible
happened.
thing that we're still dealing with at the time of this recording? Oh. And there's no end in sight.
No.
Okay,
Well, anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you found this video informative. If you have a birthday you'd like us to cover, leave it in the comments below, and I will get around to making the video for when your birthday comes out. Or if you don't care if it comes on your birthday, I can release it on a different day.
Oh, that'd be
I don't know how that would work, but I could totally do that if you wanted me to. But yeah, definitely let me know if you find this interesting, and I'll see you tomorrow for Merle's birthday video. And yeah, he's doing an all-day stream marathon thing on his channel at twitch.tv/MerleKoz. So hopefully he's streaming at this point while you're watching this. So go check him out.
We're going to let it end on that fact. I got one more factoid.
Oh yeah, what's that?
Yeah, January 15th was a Sunday last year.
Really?
Yes.
How do you remember that?
Because January 15th or 13th was a Friday the 13th, and my Facebook let me know, and it showed me a video that it recorded. Oh, wait, that wasn't last year, though. Oh, no! I screwed up the year!
No!
Oh, well. I didn't want to leave it on that. Anyway, I guess that's good. So, yeah, check out Merle.
And see you tomorrow.
Yeah, all right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.